All right, Robbie, you're talking about some Canadians, some cheating Canadians. Let's hear it. Truth, lies, or
Well, I'm talking
shenanigans.
about, oh, this is straight up shenanigans on everybody's part. So, Canadian snowbirds, for those of you who don't know, are essentially retirees who follow the migratory patterns of the birds. They get out of Canada when it's cold and they head down to Arizona, Florida. They head down to warmer climes. So, despite the fact that there's an advisory to not travel out of the country, these individuals have found loopholes to go take care of their property, to go spend their winter in the US. But now that they're entrenched in the US and they're there, they are trumping American residents for access to the COVID vaccine. So, more specifically in Florida, where the bulk of our snowbirds go to, there's not enough of the vaccine to go around for the local residents. So, my question to the panel, let me just pull it up real quick here. Um, so, should foreign visitors have the ability to visit a foreign nation and receive a COVID vaccine ahead of the local constituency?
I can start off. Hell no. I mean, I want a vaccine. I'm waiting for a vaccine. I want because I'm gonna be honest. I want to get out and do some stuff. I want to hug my family. I want to go out and I want to go play some volleyball. I want to do some of the things that I haven't been able to do. I'm waiting. I'm waiting in line now. I mean, now that people aren't dropping like flies at the first set of round of doses, I'm ready. I'm ready to go ahead and hit that vaccine. So I'm yeah no I'm not feeling your people coming down here, Robbie. You tell your Canadians to stay
Not
where
your
they are.
people.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Storm, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I think the policies in Florida or like every state has their own rules and laws regarding like the rollout for vaccines. I think it was like certain age restrictions. So if that's part of the policy, then technically there it's kind of fair just to play devil's advocate. But I don't think like morally it's right because it's like if you have a little bit more privilege because you are able to own a house in Florida and Canada because you just have that kind of money and you can do that. But that's cool. I mean, that's amazing.
I
But
guess I mean
if you
she's
have
right. I mean
that
if you're
more,
playing within the rules, then what? Yeah.
yeah, they are playing within the rules. But I did see also in the article that you sent, Rob, one of the women who was of age, she was about 67, um, and she didn't receive the vaccine. Like she's still waiting to receive an appointment. So that kind of made me feel like maybe there was a little privilege or of priority, or I'm not sure. So yeah, I think that is unfair. I think morally it's unfair, but
Well,
they
I
make
mean,
their rules.
okay, to that question. So if we're talking, because there's a set of population that does get it first. So the older population is supposed to get it first. So I guess if you do have older snowbirds, I don't know. Is it really morally wrong? I'm starting to rethink my thoughts now, because I mean, you're giving it to an older population who may not get it in Canada. Is that really a bad thing, Lizzie Enders?
Yeah, it's a bad thing. One, they were advised not to come here in the first place. They're not even supposed to be here. Second,
Mhm.
we still can't go to Canada.
That's
We
true.
can't leave and go, go across the border
Yeah,
to
we
pick up
Thanks to
north.
Trump. Thanks to Trump.
So,
But yes.
so why should they be allowed to come down here and harvest all of our, medical resources? No, no, no. And something similar is happening here in DC, Rob, where the first rounds, went to healthcare workers and then elderly 65 and older, but it's based on your neighborhood, your wards. However,
Oh,
they're not being very strict about who from what particular ward. There are 8 wards in DC. They're not being very strict about who from which ward is allowed to get the vaccine. So you have people who are coming from very affluent neighborhoods where the numbers aren't that high, going into a neighborhood where they have more doses, if you will, and getting vaccinated that way, leaving the people in those neighborhoods where the numbers are really high, leaving them asked out. on the sideline. So it's people cheating and not playing by the rules. I understand because there are health concerns, maybe life and death issues concerns. But as someone who if I lived in Florida, which I would never do, but if I lived in Florida and I was, seeking to get a dose, seeking to get the vaccine. I can't say this enough. I am immune compromised. I am a type 1 diabetic. One of the main reasons why I really haven't had a lot of exposure, I haven't caught this virus yet, is because I don't go anywhere. I'm very limited in my movements. But I would be pissed if DC or wherever I chose to live in Florida, if they ran out of the vaccine because people who aren't here
are supposed to be
and eligible for it are getting it and taking away my opportunity to get it. Like, that makes no sense at all to me.
Yeah. Robbie Rock, your final thoughts? You got 37 seconds.
Yeah, so the loophole they're exploiting is property ownership and a requirement to go maintain it. While you can hire someone to manage a property for you, and if you've got the money, do it. At this point in the game, any international travel should require proof of vaccination. There are vaccines that are available. It's a slow roll up to get started, but if you're leaving your borders, you need that documentation. So shame on these Canadian retirees for traveling to their COVID hotspots, and double shame on them for scooping vaccines when local residents can't secure it for themselves. I'm disgusted with what these people are doing. It's entitlement, pure and simple. And shame on the previous White House administration for not implementing policies and measures that protect you from this. So this is twofold. To me, it's a shame on these Canadian travelers because you've been asked to stay home and you don't like winters, so you're traveling to a COVID hotspot, but absolutely shame on the Trump administration and how they handled it, because those doses should have been secured for your people first.
All right, I didn't mean to laugh in the middle of your comment.
Blame Canada.
I laughed at Kevin Daxton's comment, build a wall. Build a wall between Canada.
No. Build a wall. We've had enough of walls.
Sherry Blaine said, Robbie Rock, I'm appalled that Canadians even traveling based on our current climate. We have been advised no non-essential travel. Everyone must stay home here in Canada, right? I do feel there's some privilege here. Jacqueline Robinson says it's selfishness on a whole other level. So, all right, and everybody says our stuff ain't free like Canada.
I like Len's comment. Rob B for Premier Ontario. Hugs, bud.
Lynn. All right, that's it for Hot Topics, guys. That's it for Hot Topics.
Lies, shenanigans.
Good Hot Topics, good Hot Topics. Let's get into our game show, and hopefully it works